Good morning, students. Good afternoon. I think a previous class not taken due to some personal problem. And in the previous classes, I have completed theory part of nuclear chapter. And also we started numericals after giving some important formulae. I think first problem 13.1 completed. I think in 13.1 we have two problems, A and B subparts are given. A completed and B part also completed. Now we'll go for 13.2 second problem. So 13.2 I think not given, three stable isotopes. So 13.3 also we have given data given, and also have given formula also, and we asked to calculate average atomic mass like m1x1 plus m2x2 plus m3x3 divided by x1 plus x2 plus x3. So that calculation we asked. I think you have substituted the values, correct? And if you want to calculate, say the values. Average atomic mass 13.2 solution, m is equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 plus m3x3 divided by x1 plus x2 plus x3. Check what is m1 value first. 19.99 into 90.59 plus 90.51 plus 20.99 into 0.27 plus 21.99 into 9.22. So we should divide the value with 100%. Always a denominator value should be 100. So that means the first value x1 means 90.51 plus 0.27 plus 9.22. So you have to simplify the value and then you have to calculate. 1809.2949 plus 5 plus 202.7478 divided by 100. We should add all the values. By adding all the values, 2017.71 by 100. If you divide the value with 100, so you will get two decimal point we can adjust left side, so that 20.1771, or write the value nearly. If you round up the value, all the values after decimal point they given two digits. So here also according to the significant figures, so we can follow 20.18 we can write 77 round off and write 18 AMU. So it is average atomic mass. So actually I asked to calculate the value in the last class. If not calculated, write this one. Now we'll go for next problem. Next one, 13.3, problem number 3. I'll read the question. Obtain the binding energy in MeV, mega electron volt they are asking. Obtain the binding energy in MeV of nitrogen nucleus. So with atomic number 7, mass number 14, and the given mass of hydrogen given right here, mass of nitrogen 7n14 is equal to 14.00307 AMU, and it is a nitrogen means atomic number Z is equal to 7 mass number A is equal to 14. So we need to calculate the binding energy of nitrogen. We should calculate binding energy. But here starting I have given some data. Mass of the proton, mass of the neutron, some data already I have given. So we have to use the data here. Same data. So we can write here mH mass of the hydrogen is equal to 1.007825 AMU. Mass of the neutron 1.008665 AMU. Now calculate the binding energy. So binding energy means it is equal delta M into 931.5. Should write the formula. So two methods. First we should calculate delta M and then we can multiply with 931.5. One method. Or directly may calculate binding energy. Binding energy of nitrogen. So here they are given atomic mass. That's why directly I will use mH instead of the proton. Binding energy Be is equal to delta M into 931.5 mega electron volt or million electron volt. So that B is equal to delta M means formula ZMP or Z into mH plus A minus Z into Mn. Correct. Next minus mass of hydrogen should write mass of nitrogen 7 and 14. So we have to multiply this value with 931.5. Now substitute the data here. So Z means atomic number of the nitrogen 7 into 1.007825 plus A minus Z means 14 minus 7. So mass number 14 nitrogen and atomic number 7. 14 minus 7 into 1.008665 minus mass of nitrogen they only given 14.00307 into 931.5. So that is equal to 7.054775 plus 7.7 into this value. Multiply 7 into 1.00865. You should multiply 7 into that value. 06 again 0655 minus this value same 14.00307 up to this one same into 931.5. Now first add these two numbers. 7 point something plus 7 point something will get a 14 point. We should add first these two numbers 14 point something 14.11 543 minus subtract this one 14.00307 into 931.5. First subtract this one, you will get 0 point something. 14.00543 14.0.11236 into multiply this value 931.5. So that is a 104.66. Okay, leave 66 you can write MeV. Or may round off to 104.7 we can write. If you round up the number, you will get 7. That is a binding energy of the nitrogen nucleus. What does it mean? Nitrogen nucleus contains total 14 nucleons. If you want to break the nitrogen nucleus, if you want to take all the 14 nucleons outside, so this much amount of energy we need to supply. That's important. For example, I don't want to bring all the 14 nucleons outside. I want to bring only one nucleon. How much energy required? We should divide this value with mass number 14. That is called specific binding energy or average binding energy. So sometimes in a final exam, same question, calculate, obtain the binding energy per nucleon. or find the average binding energy of the nitrogen nucleus. Same data, same process. Last, just divide the value with 14. We'll get the answer around 7 point or 6 point, 8 point something. We'll get 7 point something. We'll get. That is. Next question. 13.4. Fourth problem. Obtain the binding energy of the nucleus iron. So instead of nitrogen, they given iron nucleus with Fe atomic number 26, mass number 56, and also bismuth. So they ask two questions. One is iron nucleus you should calculate binding energy, and for bismuth nucleus also separately how to calculate binding energy. Now data given in units of MeV. Here also same. The answer you have to get in units MeV, mega electron volt. First one, right, for mass of iron. First question for Fe atomic number 26, mass number 56. Z is equal to 26, A is equal to 56, and mass of Fe 56 is equal to 55 point. They only given data 55.934939 934939 U. But second question later will calculate after completion of this one. First you have to do this one. Remaining data same. Mass of hydrogen, for example, it is equal to 1.007825, and the mass of the neutron 1.008665 unified mass. Calculate binding energy. First may calculate binding energy. Later if you want to may go for average binding energy also if required means. Instead of the here mass of iron you should take 56. Substitute the values in this question. That is called atomic number 7 into 1.007825 plus A minus Z means 56 minus 26 into 1.008665 1.008665, that is the mass of the neutron, minus mass of iron means that is called 55.934939. Now this value should multiply with 931.5. That is called 7.05. One second, not 7 point. Sorry, atomic number 26. Check here. Z means that is equal atomic number of the iron nucleus. That is called how much? 26 you should write here, not 7. 26 you should write here. 26 into 1.007825 you should write. 26.19565 plus 56 minus 26 equal 30. 30 into 1.008665, that is equal to 30.25995. Now add these two numbers. Minus 55.934939 into 931.5 you should write. If you add 30 point this value plus 26 point this value, we'll get 56 point something. 56.4556 minus 55 point, sorry, 55.934939. Subtract these two numbers. 931.5, that is called 0.520661 into 931.5. Now multiply this value, both numbers. 931.5 into 0.520661. Correct? No. 484.995 or 9957, right? That is a MeV, mega electron volt. If you divide this value with the 56, check what will get by 56. It is actually binding energy, means to remove all the 56 nucleons from the iron nucleus, this much amount of energy required. If you want to remove only one nucleon, how much energy required? So approximately 8 point something, nearly 8.7 or 8.75 will get the value. So this value 56 point, add these two numbers, still any other value is there, or okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 digits only, fifth digit also there, are fifth or sixth. $56.4556, that's only, na? Okay. So if you want a per nucleon, divide the value with the 56. That is the question. Now second one, in this B, they are given a bismuth. For bismuth, they are given a B question with atomic number 83, mass number 209. Atomic number Z is equal to 83, mass number A is equal to 209, and the mass of bismuth given, mass of bismuth 209 is equal to 208 point, the given value 208.980388, 980,388 AMU. So here also same, calculate the binding energy. B is equal to question mark. What is the binding energy? Should calculate. Same question, but data different, process same. Substitute the value and calculate. Remaining mass of the hydrogen, remaining all the values are same only. Should write here atomic number Z is equal to 83 into 1.007825 plus 209 minus 83 into 1.008665 minus. So mass of the bismuth, already data given in the question, that is equal to 208. This value 208 point, the given value. Mass of the bismuth in textbook they given 208.980388 given. Okay, 208 point given, 208.980388 into 931.5. Okay, calculate the substitute and calculate the values later. Okay. Substitute and step by step you may calculate the value. Note down the data, formula, and up to here substitution and calculate later. So to this value, if you add a number 0.00055. So mass of the electron also given 208.9803888 plus 0.000548. 0.000548 to 10 point. Okay. Okay, note down this data, formula, and also substitution, only calculation part, last time right, calculation part. We'll go for next question, fifth question. Now check 13.5. 13.5. A given coin has a mass of 3 grams. When a coin given, a coin has a mass 3 grams. Now, calculate the nuclear energy that would be required to separate all the neutrons and protons from each other. When a coin given, the coin has a mass of 3 grams. It contains some of the atoms, and inside the atoms there are protons and neutrons. What is the total amount of energy required to remove all the protons and neutrons, or to separate all the protons and neutrons from the coin? They are asking. So indirectly should calculate, binding energy should calculate. And some data given here only. For simplicity, assume that the coin is made of copper. So the coin is made of copper given. I'll write here. So for copper Cu copper with atomic number 29, mass number 63. Is it correct? Atomic number 29, mass number 63. Write like this. 29, 63. That means atomic number Z is equal to 29, A is equal to 63. So atomic number given and mass number given. Next, mass of copper also given. Mass of Cu, that equal to 63 is equal to 62 point. They only given the data 62.92960. 92960 AMU. Remaining mass of the hydrogen, mass of the neutron. So the data we should take as usual. I'll give here mass of hydrogen is equal to 1.007825 and the mass of the neutron is equal to 1.008665. Calculate binding energy. Here if Avogadro number required, we use Avogadro number n is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. It is Avogadro number value. And one more, mass of copper coin also given. Mass of coin M is equal to 3 grams. Mass of the copper coin is equal to 3 grams. Calculate, first you should calculate how much energy required to remove the nucleons from one atom. From one atom, how much energy required. And a copper coin, 3 grams coin contains how many atoms? To remove all the nucleons from all the atoms, how much energy required? That you have to follow. First I'll calculate energy required to remove only nucleons from one atom. I'll calculate. So we calculate here mass defect, or for one atom, of copper 63, delta m means mass defect is equal to formula. We calculate here ZMP plus A or Z into MH, right, plus A minus Z into Mn minus mass of copper 63. Now substitute here value, that is called 29 into 1.007825 plus 63 minus 29 into 1.008665 minus 62.92960. If we'll simplify, we'll get mass defect per one atom. Per one atom, what is the mass defect value? If you multiply this value with 931.5, energy required to remove all the nucleons from one atom you will get. For one atom of copper 63, binding energy Be is equal to delta M into 931.5 MeV. This obtained value you should multiply with 931.5. So MeV, if you want, you can convert into joules also later. This value you have to multiply and you have to simplify. This value, na? Delta M is equal to not 551. Check one second. So this value we multiply first 29.226925 plus 63 minus 29. Subtract the value and then multiply this value. 63 minus 29 first. 63 minus 29, subtract and then multiply this value. 63 minus 29. How much? Into 1.00 into 1.00 8665. 34.29461 minus 62.92960. Now add these two numbers. 29.226925 plus this value 63.521535 minus 62.92960. Now subtract, we'll get the 0 point something, we'll get 0.591935. That is mass defect per one atom. If you multiply this value with 931.5, should write 0.591935 into 931.5. 0 point, correct? 0.63.52. This one multiplication, that is called a 551.3874 MeV. It is a total binding energy to remove total 63 nucleons from one copper atom. Correct? One copper atom. But here what they asked question, from 3 grams of the copper coin, how much energy required? So we should calculate first 3 grams of the copper coin contains how many atoms? We should multiply. And if you want to make first number of atoms, you should calculate. Right here, number of atoms according to Avogadro hypothesis, you should take number of atoms in General formula already I have given. You have remembered or not? Generally, number of atoms in A grams of the copper coin, if A grams of any sample we take, it contains Avogadro number of atoms. A grams of any sample we take, XZA, it contains Avogadro number of atoms. But one atom contains how many means it is equal to Avogadro number by mass number you should write, 1 gram. But m grams contains how many means into m you should multiply. So number of atoms in m grams, number of atoms in m grams of XZA is n is equal to Avogadro number into mass of the sample by mass number. We should use this formula. Avogadro number into mass of the sample by mass number. Now we substitute here, but number of atoms in 3 grams of copper 2963 is n is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 into 3 grams divided by mass number is equal to 63. Simplify this one. General formula, Avogadro number into mass of the sample by mass number. Then here number of atoms in 3 grams of the copper coin contains how many atoms? That is called Avogadro number into 3 grams by mass number is equal to, should write. Check how much this value. 6.023 into 3 divided by 63 directly. 0.2868 okay, into 10 to the power of 23 atoms, or 2 point also if you want to write, no problem. 0.2868 into 10 power 23 atoms. Now check the question. If you want to remove 63 nucleons like protons and neutrons from one atom, how much energy required? 551.38 energy required, MeV. If you want to remove all this from this all this number of atoms, how much energy required? We should multiply both. Therefore, total energy required right, BE dash is equal to N into BE. What is the total energy required to remove all the nucleons from 3 grams? Alright, number of atoms equal to number of atoms equal to, should write 0.2868 into 10 to the power of 23 into 551.3874 into 10 to the power of 23 same 551.3874 into 0.2868 158.137 means round off to 4, right? 158.14 into 10 power 23 MeV, or may adjust the value 1.58 into 10 to the power of 2 digits into 10 power 25 MeV. Check correct answer. Okay, no problem. 1.58 means round offing value as 1. Nearly 6 into 10 power 25, correct? Value wrong. 0.59 1935, correct, into 931.5. This value how much? Delta M is equal to 0.59, correct? delta M, mass defect value 0.591935, correct. That's the AMU. Into 931.5, if you multiply, we'll get this value 551 point, correct only. No problem. 0.5. If you, for example, here only if you multiply the number of atoms, whatever the number of atoms you got, if you multiply with the mass defect, what you will get? The total mass defect in all the atoms in the 3 grams you will get. And then you have to multiply again with 931.5 last. We'll get the total binding energy. So check the textbook answer. If a textbook answer, for example, joules if you want to write, then you have to convert the value into 1 MeV. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 13, we have to multiply. We'll get the answer in joules also. But depending upon the requirement, you may convert or we can leave this one also, no problem. So that is a 13.5. So in textbook, both answers given. So one is 1.584 into 10 to the power of 25 MeV given, one answer, whatever we got. Second answer they given or in joules given. But how to convert the value into joules means actually we can round up this number up to here only. If you want to get the value in joule means B dash is equal to 1.58 into 10 to the power of 25 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 13 joule. 1 mega electron volt value 1.6 into 10 power minus 13. If you multiply both 2.528, so approximately, so they given 2.53 round of value you can write. So nearly 2.53 into 10 to the power of, so 5 minus means 12, we'll get the value, joule. That's only. So generally after a decimal point around how many digits given? Nearly 5 to 6 digits they have given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits. So for example, by while calculating, if you neglect 1 or 2 digits, last digits, for example, 6th digit, 5th digit, so last answer may be little bit varied. So exactly if you take all the 6 digits in each and every calculation, and the last will get the required answer. So otherwise 1 or 2 digits may be adjusted, no problem, and the last you have to round off the number. So according to significant figures, you may round off and you may write actually. So in textbook answer they have given 1.584 given exact value. So if you take all the digits after decimal point, 5 digits, 6 digits, will get the required value also. And if you want to calculate separately each and every digit by taking. Now we'll go for next problem. So question number 6, 13.6. So 13.6, actually they given some equations given. So we have to fill in the blanks, like write nuclear reaction equations for. So they have given simple part, but you have to complete the total reaction. First one A, or first one, what they given? Alpha decay of radium. So alpha decay means whenever radium emitted one alpha particle, write the equation they asked. Alpha decay of radium. So what they given numbers? Radium Ra. So check your number given 88 to 20. 88 atomic number, mass number 226. Whenever radium emitted on alpha particle, we should write equation alpha, and I'll write second. First I'll write all the equations, then we'll go for a completion. Second one, alpha decay of plutonium with atomic number 94, mass number 242. So plutonium Pu, 90 for 242. It is also emitting an alpha particle. Then complete the equation they are asking. Next, third one. Third question. Beta minus a decay of phosphorus. So phosphorus with atomic number 15, mass number 32, emission of beta minus decay, should write beta minus, then what we will get? Fourth one, also same, beta minus decay of bismuth, atomic number 83, 210 mass number, also same, you should take a beta minus decay. Next, fifth one, beta plus decay of carbon C611. So carbon C611, carbon 11 given, C611, we should write a beta plus decay, carbon C611, that is a beta plus decay. Next also same, beta plus decay of technetium Tc with atomic number 43, mass number 97, here also beta plus decay. So two equations beta minus and two equations beta plus given, 97. And the last one, electron capture of xenon, correct? So seventh one, xenon with atomic number 54, mass number 120, it is equal to electron capture, means you should write a -1 E0, then what will get? So note down equations first and then equation wise you have to complete. Now question number 1, alpha decay of radium should write. Now write here alpha decay means with atomic number, alpha is a helium nucleus, He with atomic number 2, mass number 4, that is called alpha particle. Now whenever one element nucleus emitted alpha particle, its atomic number decreases by 2 and the mass number decreases by 4. Here 88 minus 2 should write 86. 226 minus 4 is equal to 222. So with atomic number 86, the given nucleus is radon, Rn. Rn you should write. Note down first equation. Next one, alpha decay of plutonium, also should write same. Alpha decay means 2He4 with atomic number decreases by 2 means 94 minus 2, 92. 242 minus 4, 238. So with atomic number 92, mass number 238 is nothing but what? Uranium. So you should write uranium. Second, next third one, beta minus decay of phosphorus. We should write beta minus means what? Electron minus 1. That is called, when electron means symbol I am writing like this, -1 E0. But only electron will never be emitted in the reaction. Electron is always accompanied by anti-neutrino. So you should write here one new bar, also write. In all the equations plus some amount of energy will be released. Now here, when a radioactive nucleus emits one beta minus particle, no change in its mass number. So 32 as it is you should write. But what happens to atomic number? Increases by 1. Here -1 means you should write 15 plus 1, 16 you should write. So 16 minus 7, 15. Left side also 15. So balanced both numbers. Now 16 is nothing but what? Sulfur. sulfur is should write. Next one also same. Bismuth also emits on a beta minus particle, should write E minus 1 0 plus 1 anti-neutrino. Now no change in mass number, should write 210, but 83 plus 1 is should write 84, that is polonium. So atomic number 84, mass number 210 is a polonium. So generally in case of the competitive exams, on seeing options easy to remember, otherwise all the elements quite difficult to remember the names and this one. But some of the basic elements you have to remember, like thorium, uranium, plutonium, lead, this type of elements you have to remember carefully. But remaining generally on seeing options easily we can identify by balancing atomic number and the mass numbers in the given equation, we can identify easily, not a difficult thing I think. Next, carbon is emitting one beta plus particle, positron. Beta plus means you should write E plus 1 0, but a positron is always accompanied by neutrino. Now whenever one radioactive nucleus emits a beta particle, what happens? No change in mass number, 11 as it is you should write. But what happens to atomic number here? Plus 1 means it become minus. So 5 means what? Boron. With atomic number 5, mass number 11 is a boron, that you should write. Next one, sixth one. What they're asking also, beta plus decay of technetium. This one. Here also beta plus means same, you should write. Plus 1 is 0. Also neutrino. No change in mass number, 97. And then 43 becomes what you should write? 42. Molybdenum, MO. Molybdenum. Last. Xenon, 54 atomic number, mass number 120. Instead of releasing the beta minus or beta plus particle, it is absorbing or capturing one beta electron. Then what will be happened? No change in mass number, 120 as you should write. But what happens to atomic number? Here 54 minus 1. Here you should write 53. Plus you should write 1 neutrino. That is iodine. That is only electron capture of this one they are asking. Whenever electron released, we should write anti-neutrino. Whenever a positron released, we should write neutrino. Whenever electron captured, here you should write neutrino. Nu is always a neutrino, and E minus 1 0 electron or beta minus particle, E plus 1 0 positron or nothing but a beta plus particle, you should write. So these are equations, but all may not be asked. Generally competitive exams, anyone will be asked, and we have to fill or we have to identify what is a new particle emitted, you should write. That is it. Next 13.7. Seventh question. So read and that check that one. A radioactive isotope has a half-life of T years. One radioactive isotope given, half-life of the radioactive isotope is equal to capital T years. So instead of the number they given directly capital T. Half-life is equal to years. Then how long will it take its activity to reduce it to 3.125%? First question. How long means you should calculate small t is equal to question mark. So time you should calculate. First one, to reduce its activity to how much given? 3.125%. Means they given first one n by n naught is equal to 3.125%. So time you should calculate. So I'll use one formula. B second, one more question given, later I'll calculate. From the formula, n by n naught is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of small t by capital T, one formula given. Number of half-lives, all the formula list also given, and I have proved this one also. N is equal to n naught by 2 to the power of small t by capital D. Here n number of remaining atoms, n naught number of original atoms in the sample, and capital T half life, small t given time where we should calculate. If you divide these two values, number of the fraction of remaining sample, if you multiply with 100 you will get percentage of the remaining sample. Generally if you multiply this value, what will get? 3.125 by 100 will get. Leave that one. 3.125 divided by 100 I will get percentage value. Then write here that equal to 3.125 divided by 100 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of small t by capital T. If any cancellation possible, try to cancel. Otherwise, we have to go for fractions, or maybe should take a log on both sides. Now check here. Approximately 3 30s are 90. So 3 into 30 is equal 90. Then 3.125 into 30, 32. We multiply how much you will get? 32 into 3.125, 100. So 3.125 ones are 3.125, 32s are 32 times cancelled. Why I am writing cancelling means 32 we can write 2 powers, like a 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, like 2 power 5 if you write for example 32, both sides here 2 power something, here 2 power something. Whenever bases are equal, we can compare the powers also on both sides. So that write 1 by 2 to the power of small t by capital T is equal to 1 by write 2 to the power of 5. If you want to take a reciprocal on both sides, then we'll get 2 to the power of small t by capital T is equal to 2 to the power of 5, or small t by capital T is equal to 5, or small t is equal to 5t. That's your answer, 5 times. So both sides I am comparing the powers. So here I am comparing the powers on both sides. Comparing the powers on both sides. So one more question they given, I'll give, but try yourself on later. So B question just I'm writing here, yourself you may try later. N by N naught is equal to, they given 100%. So 1 second, 1% given, 1% you should take, which is equal to 1 by 100. Again use the same formula and try it later for tomorrow class. N by N naught is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of small t by capital T. But N by N naught place right, 1 by 100 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of small t by capital T. Or we take reciprocal on both sides. 2 to the power of small t by capital T is equal to 100. Now we should calculate small t value in terms of capital T, same process. But here 100 we cannot write 2 powers. Correct? 100 we cannot write. Only we can write 2, 4, next 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512 and 1024 and so on. We can write 2 powers. But 100 we cannot write 2 powers. That's why we should take a log on both sides. Log 2 to the power of small t by capital T is equal to log 100. Like log 2 power small t by capital T is equal to what? So here 2 small t by capital T into log 2 you should write is equal to log 100. Then simplify, last will get the small t value. So try it for tomorrow class. If you are unable to get, I will give. Try this one, taking log on both sides, and here we will get the answer. So 7 problems completed, and tomorrow class will continue. Okay. Thank you.